All right, so today I thought that I would make some dehydrated mushrooms. Let me show you. Look at all my mushrooms. Lovely criminy mushrooms. Then I have some white button mushrooms, and I absolutely love mushrooms. And the reason why I bought so many is because there was no tofu anywhere, just like toilet paper has been wiped out, no pun intended, cloths, you name it, rice, your beans. There was no additional protein like the tofus. I know that all of my beans and my lentils have protein in it, but I needed something that was a little bit more, and I wanted to make something that was meaty down the road. And so I found these at a really good price, and I want to dehydrate them and then stick them in my pantry so I have them. And then the button mushrooms, I throw these sometimes in a soup, but I want to see how these dehydrate in comparison to the criminy. So what I have to do now is I have to just go and take a brush, either wipe these off with a towel or I can brush them off just to make sure that most of the dirt is off. And then I might season some of them. I might have some of them plain. I'm going to chop them, actually slice them about 1/4 of an inch thick, and then I'll lay them out on the dryer sheets. Now this right here, that is my dehydrator, and that's an Excalibur dehydrator. I paid a pretty penny for it, but it was absolutely worth it. I make all of my dehydrated fruits and veggies, and then also I do crackers in there, you name it. My delicious kale, my kale chips go in there as well. So there's a lot that you can do. So we're gonna go ahead and clean the mushrooms, slice them, lay them on the sheet, and then stick them in the dehydrator. All right, let's get to chopping. Let me move this down so you can see. So here they are, nice and clean. I do want to cut off these end caps here. I just want to take that off. Just going to take a couple of these. Get ready to slice these up. And like I said, you just want to do it about 1/4 of an inch. So it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, you don't have to measure them specifically 1/4 of an inch. I think that you'll get the gist once you see it. Okay. It's a pretty decent slice, and they will shrink up once we dehydrate them. Okay. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to show you my dehydrator right here. I love this thing. I paid a couple of $100s for it back in the day, but it was so worth it. I don't use it a lot anymore, but when I do want to make my raw kale chips or dehydrated fruit, I make my crackers in there. It's so worth it. So I will never let go of my Excalibur dehydrator. And this has 9 trays. So let me turn this around and show you. All right, so here it is. It stays tucked in the corner of my kitchen. It is big, but it's 9 trays. And what I like about it is that it opens easily, and you have all of the trays here. Now, it came with these sheets here, and when I'm making my fruit or drying veggies or my kale chips, I'll put them on this. But if I'm going to do any kind of crackers, or I'm going to use a moist paste that I'm drying out, I will use these non-stick sheets, and I bought these separately. I did break one of the trays because I was kind of heavy-handed, but this is a fabulous, fabulous dehydrator. So you might want to take a look and see. I wanted to go for the best, so I got the best. Here's the Excalibur. Now, you don't have to remember a lot of things because they give you this chart on top. But what I like is that I do living foods, I do raw. So I usually cook it between 105 and 115. I usually sit on a nice like 112-ish, 110, 112. And then you just turn the dial here for whatever temperature that you want on. You go ahead and you plug it in, but I always make sure that I leave it in my raw section, which is in this area here. Okay, so that is pretty much it. Now we're going to go ahead and load it up with the mushrooms. I just wanted to show you quickly. So here's my first tray of mushrooms. Okay, but I don't know if you can see this fan. That just is the hot air that's being blown onto your food, and that's how it's being dehydrated. Super easy. Now, as you can see, if I put them on the tray, on the slot, right below it, it's not going to fit. So, I almost lost that tray, Jesus. I'm going to stick it on the tray below. All right, so quite a bit of time has passed by. It took about six to 8 hours for the mushrooms to dehydrate. And by the time the 6 to 8 hours came, I was already in bed. So turned it off, let it sit for a while, threw it on the dehydrator for another probably hour or so when I got up in the morning. And I want to take them out now and show you what they look like. They dried really nicely. Look at this. Those are fantastic, and I want to see just how many we get. So I'm going to take out the 4 trays. And here they are. I'll end up turning the camera down so you can see the bounty. All right, here it is. They're totally dry. Can you hear that? How they're hitting that plate? That's fantastic, because one of the things that I thought about is, you know, as I was preparing my emergency kit, especially with this pandemic and how there was this, you know, scarcity at the supermarket, how am I able to get my vegetables and keep them long term, you know, for my soups and my stews, and using it in the grain dishes. And so this is success, wouldn't you say? Look at that. That is fantastic. Dehydrated mushrooms. And so what I'm going to do is, I have a canning jar, since I save everything in canning jars because it's nice and airtight. I'm going to go ahead and see how much fits in there, but I first want to try this. Let's hear if it snaps. Oh, it does. Did you hear that? Let's do another one. I love that, because I wasn't sure how well these would dry. Oh, that's great. To me, I think it's going to be like a beef jerky. It's a mushroom. It's yummy. I bet you if I seasoned it beforehand, I could do some teriyaki. I could do like a nice masala nut mixture, like a nut mist over it. You call it a mist, a sprinkling. So there's a lot of different flavors that you could have. So this is high in protein. I figure for every big size mushroom, you're getting about 1 gram of protein, 1 to 2 grams of protein. So I know that most of the mushrooms that I had, I sliced them in about 4 or 5 slices. See that? There's 4 slices. That's almost my mushroom. It just needs the two side caps, the side slices. Let's see here. So that amount, that's a good amount of protein right there that you can add to anything, and you can add that to soups and stews, and it's wonderful. So let's see how much it is. I'm going to put it in a quart container. Let us see. Because once I seal this, I'll seal it and I'll date it and I will have it. Now the good thing is that if I'm going to use this just like I would any other pantry item. I'm going to see how long it's going to last me, and then I'll know that when I have these mushrooms, when they're on sale, when I feel like making more, I can do that. And then it also lets me know, God forbid, something horrible happens. I'll know how to not only my gardening, but good dehydrating, and I'll have this available. So that is wonderful. What do you think? Fantastic, right? So the Excalibur is a wonderful, wonderful appliance to have. You need to decide whether or not you want to invest in that and how often you are going to use it. They do have smaller models. If you're not able to get it now and it's just on your wish list, you certainly can go ahead and use your oven. Just make sure that with your oven you line your cookie sheets, or maybe you have a drying tray. You line that with some parchment paper. I think that would work best. And you just keep an eye on it, and you can put your oven to 105 degrees, between 105 and 110, and have it in there for about 4 to 6 hours, and just check it around the 3 to 4 hour mark and see whether or not you have to flip anything over in the smaller pieces. If they're already completely dried out, then you can take those out and put them aside. But super easy. And then just add spices to them if you want something with flavor and you want to have these as your snack and go. So I got some more to do. So I'm very excited. All right, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you make healthy choices, one meal at a time. Let me know if you have any comments. Let me know if you like this video, and subscribe. All right, see you in the next one.